So let me be the first today to welcome you to the State of the Village. My name is Jim Drew, Chair of the Economic Development Commission, and we're honored to be presenting today's presentation. The mission of the Economic Development Commission is to encourage and facilitate economic growth within the village of Mount Prospect. And first and foremost, I'd like to just introduce a few members that are here today that make up this commission of 7 different business leaders that either live or work within the Mount Prospect area. And we have John Healy, Katrina McGuire, Dan Novak, Jim Peterson, David Rowe, and Tom Zander, which I think we have 3 on site today. If you could raise your hands real quick, and you can just want to appreciate your time and commitment as it's a volunteer commission. So I'm honored today to be able to take us through the program, which consists of 2 components. First, the mayor will be speaking to us and bringing us through the state of the village, which will be an exciting presentation. And then secondly, to be presenting the renewed Economic Development Commission Award Program, something that had paused during the pandemic, and we're excited to be bringing that back forward today. So on that note, I would now like to introduce Mount Prospect Mayor Paul Hoefert, who will deliver the State of the Village address this morning. The mayor and I actually first met, and we were recollecting on this today, probably about 15 years ago, where he was a greeter in my home, where we were fortunate to be featured on the Historical Society tour, the home tour every in December. And as a greeter in our home, it was great because he asked us a little bit about ourselves, just so that he can kind of share a story and possibly embellish upon it a little bit as people were first coming in. So it was great that we were able to first connect back then and have been good friends ever since. Mayor Hoefert has many loves in his life: his wife Linda, his family who live here in Mount Prospect, the art of comedy, and of course the village of Mount Prospect. If anyone in this room lives outside the village, it is probably a guarantee that Mayor Hoefert has tried to convince that person to move to Mount Prospect at some point, like he and his wife Linda did 42 years ago in 1983. Mayor Hoefert not only loves this community, but he also has a passion for serving it. The mayor served 8 consecutive terms beginning in 1991 as a village trustee until being elected mayor in 2021. Overall, he has dedicated 34 years of elected office on the village board. Mayor Hoefert has a bachelor's degree in finance from Miami University in Ohio and a Master of Business Administration from DePaul University. Professionally, Mayor Hoefert has a deep financial background, having 44 years of experience in financial services industry and at a number of major banking organizations, including Northern Trust. Just like the bag that is on the back of everybody's chair today, we are all here because we love Mount Prospect. Its business community, its schools, its park, its library, and the friendliness of our neighbors. We've experienced immense growth in the past year, and we will hear about all of the wonderful things happening in our village in Mayor Hoefert's State of the Village address today. Now, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mount Prospect Mayor William Hoefert.
You know, at the house walk, I'm always at the front door of one house, and I do embellish sometimes, and I may have told everybody that you were a felon, Jim, and he is not a felon, okay?
You weren't that far off.
No. It made for good theater. It's so great to see so many friendly faces. I think I know everybody in the room, and we have nothing but positives to share this morning. There is so much happening in our village that is so fantastic. So as you've already heard, I'm Paul Hoefert, the mayor of Mount Prospect, and on behalf of our village board, I welcome you to this morning's breakfast. And I am joined by a number of trustees. If they wouldn't mind standing up, I would appreciate it. And thank you also to the Economic Development Commission for putting this morning's event together. It's both a privilege and an honor to stand before you as we reflect on the progress that we've made as a community and the challenges that we've overcome. and the many exciting opportunities that lie ahead of us. Over the past few years, the village of Mount Prospect has experienced unprecedented growth. We have been on a steep, upward, and positive trajectory. Our local economy is strong, investment capital is flowing into our village, and we are experiencing growth like we have never seen before. The result? Development is occurring everywhere you look. There's new residential, there's new commercial, there's new retail, there's new restaurants. This activity is creating a remarkably positive environment for all who live, work, and do business in our village. This morning's presentation will help us better understand some of these successes and to celebrate them as well. And I will share an update on the overall state of our community. I will highlight key accomplishments, ongoing initiatives, and our vision for the future. But more importantly, I want to acknowledge the dedication of our residents, our local leaders, our village staff, and every member of this village who contributes to making Mount Prospect a great place. As we move forward together, let's keep in mind that the strength of our village lies not just in the buildings and the infrastructure that we build, but in the spirit of cooperation, the spirit of compassion, and the spirit of shared commitment that we all bring to the table. Before I go any further, I would also like to recognize our former mayor, Arlene Jurasek, who is with us this morning. A couple of things. One, our vision is driven by a very detailed and robust strategic plan. And she, Arlene, is the person who brought that concept to the village. She had it in her professional life, and she told Mike, we have to have a strong strategic planning process, and because of that, we do today. And Arlene, this is where I get to embarrass you. I hope you stay vertical today. See, that's a joke, because last year when I went to, give that shout out, I looked over and she was going down. So thank God we had the fire department paramedics here.
Oh, HIPAA.
HIPAA. I didn't say why, I just... It was in the newspaper, yeah. But she did it very gracefully, I've got to say that. Each year, when I begin my formal comments, I make a statement, and I'm going to do the same this year. I want to make it clear that as we go through the presentation, I'm not implying that I am taking credit for all that you will hear, although I am the mayor. No, I'm just kidding. As we all know, in an adopted manager-council form of government such as Mount Prospect, it is the village board which provides policies, strategic direction, specific directives, and ultimately authorizes the spending of our tax dollars. While the mayor and the board identify and support policies and actions that allow for major accomplishments to occur, it's the efforts of our very highly capable village manager, Mike Cassidy, who's with us today, his senior leadership staff, and our dedicated staff of 334 who execute on the strategic and tactical goals every day. Upfront work by staff over many years with the support of the village board lays the groundwork for future accomplishments to occur. But for this upfront groundwork, those accomplishments, frankly, would likely not happen. This groundwork takes the form of proactive outreach, annexations, land purchases, infrastructure improvements, active planning, and more. You cannot underestimate the effort by so many that goes into preparing the environment for potential opportunities which may come in the future. Without laying that groundwork and actively preparing for these potential opportunities, we would be unable to benefit from those opportunities in the future. So many of you have heard me say, but in my mind, Mount Prospect is a land of opportunity. As a land of opportunity, there's so much that can happen if we have vision and we create awareness. You must have vision, forward-looking thoughts, and plans as to what can be. And then with awareness, growth and prosperity will follow that vision. And we have seen that happen over and over and over the last 4 or 5 years. This morning, I'm going to speak about the unprecedented growth and development that's been occurring, the positive impacts on our village revenue flows, the positive impacts which benefit our citizens, like our property taxes being down, our vehicle sticker being eliminated, and growth, our future vision for growth. However, before I begin that conversation about growth and prosperity, I also want to make it clear that above all else, citizen safety is priority one. We are laser focused on safety. Being appropriately resourced and at the ready to respond and respond quickly when our citizens need help is paramount. Our response on the 3-alarm Orion apartment fire last June is a prime example of this. On June 17th at 6:45 p.m., the alarm came in. There was a fire and it had broken out at the Orion apartments on West Palm Drive. Now, the design of the Orion apartment building was such that the heat and the smoke produced a very difficult fire to fight. But it was the coordinated efforts of our fire, police, human services, public works, and building department which made a bad situation better. Police were first on the scene. They began evacuation efforts, and then police cordoned off the area and helped identify the displaced. Our fire department arrived within 3 minutes after receiving the alarm and fought the blaze for hours with the help of 10 other departments under mutual aid. Our human services were on the scene to help the 100 displaced residents find temporary or permanent housing. Our CERT team and Salvation Army responded to assist residents and first responders. Public Works were critical to fighting the fire as they ensured there was sufficient water flow and water pressure. The building department arrived and helped and eventually determined that the future of this structure turned out to be a total loss, unfortunately. Communications documented the fire response and kept information flowing. Donations came from our community of food, toiletries, household items, gifts, gift cards, and cash. But they also came from outside our community. St. Nectarios Greek Orthodox Church in Palatine presented the Mount Prospect Village Board with $10,000 of gift cards to be shared with the victims of this fire. That was incredible. But I will tell you the best and most important outcome of that fire, there was no loss of human life. And I think all that were there that day, that evening, and all that were there in the following days, I think they deserve a huge round of applause. Now, since 2023, our police department has grown from 83 sworn officers to 88 sworn officers, and they're authorized to hire 2 more. So we'll be at 90 when the 2 additionals are hired. Now, that doesn't include Nova. Nova's the bloodhound. But however, Nova will be sworn in as an officer, just like Charlie was. But Nova has to certify on the firing range before that. And you know, the pause, it's so hard to hold. No. Sorry, bad humor. The good humor's not coming either, so, you know. In 2023, a special response team was created to investigate high-profile violent crimes in the village. Hopefully they don't have too much work to do, but when they do, it's a special task force that handles that. Also, since 2023, the fire department has grown from 72 sworn firefighter paramedics to 81 sworn firefighter paramedics. And in 2024, the department conducted a new hire test with over 200 applicants applying, and they hired 5 new firefighter paramedics. Now, what's interesting about these pictures, both times they were swearing in 3 new police officers and 3 new firefighters. And I was there for that, and that was just a really fantastic swearing in where you get 3 new anxious and qualified hires, right? And we also promoted 2 firefighters to the rank of lieutenant. And just to give you a little perspective, in the year of 2024, the fire department had 7,800 calls for service. Keep in mind, when you need a police officer or you need a firefighter or paramedic to respond, there is absolutely nothing more important to you at that very moment. Now, Station 11, what a success story, right? Station 11 was completed on time and $1 million under budget by our internal fire and public works team. Now, when I say on time, we had a drop-dead date that we had to take that that station over and have it be active. I think it was July. And they were working against that deadline, and they hit it. What Station 11 has allowed the chiefs to do is to implement a 4-district response plan in our village, which allows for more evenly spreading the calls of service and the workload of our apparatus. This has improved the overall response times in all 4 districts of our village. That's huge, because what that tells us is that help arrives faster today than it did prior to Station 11. Next, I want to show you just a subset of some of the safety and resiliency projects that went on in the last year or two. Now, resiliency is the ability to withstand adversity, and all of these things help us withstand adversity. So the first thing is, last year we completed an emergency water system interconnect on the north side of Mount Prospect, tapping into the water from, I think, Evanston all the way through Glenview to Mount Prospect. Now, our main water source is Jawa, which comes up the expressway from the city. But this provided us a secondary in case Jawa were to go down. We also have, is it 3 wells or 4 wells? We have 3 or 4? 4 wells in place that, should we need to go to wells, we have the ability to do that. The Rand Central and Mount Prospect Road intersection was completed last year and will no longer be a topic of discussion at the Coffee with Council. No, if you've driven through that intersection, that's always going to be kind of a difficult intersection. But the improvements that have been made there, in my mind, so much better. When you go through that intersection, you move right through it, and you get very little blocking going on, and so on and so forth. I couldn't be happier about that. The Main and Bussey pedestrian crossing that is from Village Hall to, say, Station 34, that went into place. That creates a real level of safety for people crossing there. Now, we never really had a crossing there. It wasn't marked or anything. IDOT wouldn't let us do that. But marked or unmarked, everybody went across there. Now we have a safety island in the middle. So you walk halfway across, you stand on that safety island, and then you continue on. And it's created accessibility to the small triangle. Our flood control projects up on in North Mount Prospect, we have expended significant amounts of capital to keep water out of people's basements. The Fairview Gardens gravity sewer connection, it was identified a couple of years ago that Fairview Gardens had an issue. We had a pump system, and the pump wasn't failing, but we were told that we were going to have to lose the pump for a smaller pump, and it wasn't going to work. And then somewhere along the line, the engineers figured out that we don't even need a pump. We can tap in and use gravity. And to me, that's better than a pump, because pumps go down. Gravity, I don't think gravity ever fails us. And if it does, I will be stuck to the ceiling. Okay, whatever. All right, and this picture right here. Thanks for the pity laugh. That picture right there, that's a group of people at the Levee pump station, and Sean likes to call it 2.5. We had a number of pump stations along the levee, along the river, and they unfortunately were undersized because they were based on old statistics when the levee was built. So we were able, working with the Corps and the state and others, to upgrade and increase the size of that pump. So now we are keeping significantly more amounts of water out of people's basements, and pumping it from, because the levee closes off the river, right? but the rain keeps coming. So you got to get that water out of the neighborhood into the river, and you pump it. So this has really helped a lot. This will actually take hundreds of residences out of the floodplain and will save a lot of people on floodplain insurance. Projects like these, and streetlight improvements. We're going across the village and improving our streetlights in every neighborhood. They're brighter, there's more coverage, they create a lot of safety, and I think people feel generally safer in their neighborhoods because of it. So projects like these are improving safety, they're improving resiliency, and they're reducing risk. Some might call it a belt and suspenders approach to mitigating risk. I call it being prepared and being smart. Now, Amit's gonna love this, because talking about the financials of our village is extremely strong on the financial side. The financials of our village have never, ever been stronger, which puts us in a good place. Now, we have growing tax revenues. Sales taxes are up. They're up 8.8% to 36.7 million. Income taxes are up 6.3% to 9.6 million. Home rule sales tax up 3.3% to 7.5. Ahmet, wait a second. Property taxes don't show here. Well, you want to know why they don't show here? Because the village's portion of the tax revenue of the property taxes have actually gone down 11% in the last 2 years. So they don't show up on an up chart. They show up on a down chart. And as far as I'm concerned, we're going to continue to reduce our dependency on property taxes to fund our operations. We have a whole series of funds that we use for the village to fund various operations and such. But one I'd like to highlight this morning is the Economic Emergency Fund, and we created that in 2024. It's now funded to $13.7 million, and it's there should we need it. It's preparing for the unexpected. It can be used for a very specific number of reasons, and it needs village board approval to be expended. That's incredible. That's like having an extra savings account in your house, right? Although my savings account does not have $13.7 million in it. My own personal one. Wow, this is a tough crowd. Yikes. So, what does this all mean? That's my quote right there. I believe we will be a AAA credit-rated community in 2025, and I know the team over there, the finance team, is working on that. And now you have your marching orders. 2025, you can't make a liar out of me. All right, moving on. The Prospect and Main TIF, that's essentially downtown. Downtown development, if you haven't noticed, and I'm sure you all have, it's off the charts. You know, a couple of years ago, I'm at home. I live near the downtown, right? I get a call from Mr. Cassidy. Step out on your front porch. I have like one of those Andy Griffith front porches. Step out on your front porch and look up. So I stepped out, I looked up. I saw 5 cranes in the air that day. 5 cranes. In the past, we were lucky to have 1 crane up in the air. We had 5 cranes up in the air, telling us that there's a lot happening in our downtown. In the past year, we have 5 new residential projects that have been completed. The Dawson HQ Residences, 321 West Prospect, Prospect Place, and the Lion Park Row Homes, bringing the total of recent new residential buildings to 9. The restaurant scene is on fire. We have 7 new restaurants in 2024. Salerno's, Lady Dahlia, Patina Wine Bar, The Prospect, Mount Prospect Public House, Whiskey Hill, and Capri Cafe. I believe I counted correctly, but we have 14 eating opportunities, could be 15, in our downtown as of today. Our TIF is performing phenomenally, and it is ahead of schedule. The total increment collected so far, $12.6 million. And per agreement, we have shared $2 million with other taxing bodies since 2017. And for those that are wondering, Cocoa Maple, part of the Cocoa Blue family, is going to be coming to HQ residences, right, Tom? Where are you, Tom? Yep, you've signed a lease, right? Okay, lease is signed, it's committed. So they're coming to take that space in HQ Residences that's been open for a little while, and that is going to be phenomenal. All right, moving on to South Mount Prospect's TIF. With the advent of the South Mount Prospect TIF and then the recent expansion, new development and building is already underway. It is on a growth trajectory similar to downtown, I think. Since its inception in 2022, we've collected $2.8 million in increment. We're using $2 million of that, which we just approved the other night, to lay down the Oakton Street water main to get water to many of our new business residents that were in unincorporated before, but now are in incorporated Mount Prospect. We have annexed 300 acres over the last few years, starting with the old United property, which is going to be Cloud HQ, all the way down to the expressway. That's all come into Mount Prospect. What does that mean to us as citizens and businesses? Well, that tax revenue, which they were paying, wasn't coming to the village. Today that comes to the village, and all of that inures to us. So many things happening. Cloud HQ, of course, we've spoken about that. O'Reilly Auto Parts is going into the old Hobby Lobby. DeMeo Brothers is beginning development of their site and their new headquarters. Ziefried is building an industrial building. We cut the ribbon on that probably back in the fall. And the Prospect Senior Lofts. Now, what's interesting about Prospect Senior Lofts? One, we cut the ribbon on that last week. And most of you didn't even know there was a parcel of land there to be developed. It's right on the edge of our village as you go west on Algonquin. And an entrepreneurial individual who works in that space found that land and got approval to build an apartment building, and he has since done that, and we cut the ribbon on it. Now, what this does for us, one, it's a beautiful building. Two, it provides senior affordable housing in South Mount Prospect. There was a huge void of affordable senior housing in Mount Prospect on the south end of our town, and this fills the need. Randhurst, now we're going up north. Randhurst, the Renaissance, it continues. As you can see, all of these new businesses that have come to Randhurst over the last couple of years, and some as recently as just a few months ago. Now, Macy's, we cut the ribbon on that back in the fall, and many of us were there, many of the trustees and other staff. That if you've been to Macy's or know where it is, there were about 1,000 people lined up in a line to go into Macy's. Because of fire restrictions, they couldn't let everybody in at once. So I think Vince and I and maybe Terry stood at the head of that line, and we shook every hand of everybody who went into Macy's. And it was a grand day. And what's key about Macy's, it's not just another retailer, it's Macy's. And what happens when Macy's locates somewhere, then other national retailers want to locate. So you've got Home Goods, national retailer. And these are all A-rated names. Macy's, national retailer. There will be more national retailers, I guarantee you, coming to Randhurst. Now, the Rand Road corridor. Sometimes, you drive up and down Rand Road and you don't realize how much is going on the corridor. The Pickler, if you've been up there, if you haven't been there, that's a fantastic facility. And I think they're almost fully utilized. They've sold so many memberships to their facility. Everclean. I couldn't wait for that one to open because I was going to Arlington Heights. Now I can come to Mount Prospect. Cane's, I stop there all the time on the way home from the care facility when I see Linda because I love their chicken. And others. And Lakeside Bank opened up just 2 weeks ago, John? 3 weeks? 2. Took a facility that had been a Chase Bank, had been unoccupied for years, and John Eilering and his crew are now, they've now opened up their new branch there, and they're doing business, and we're going to be cutting the ribbon on that in the middle of March. I can't wait. Downtown Mount Prospect has become a destination, and this is why. Certainly the people that occupy these new residential units, they live there, but people come from out of town. I know for a fact, if there's any Arlington people here, people are coming from Arlington Heights down to our downtown now to take advantage of some of the things that are going on. But look at all these great buildings, right? I'm not quite sure how many new units. Jason, do you have that?
Over 700.
Over 700 new units, which may mean maybe 1,500 plus new residents in our downtown. All right, next slide. And I've already listed many of these, but all the new restaurant opportunities in our downtown. It really has become a destination, and it's not done. There's more to come. So we also instituted a number of pilot projects. I think everybody may be aware that in the small triangle, because the parking is restricted there, because there's not much of it, we instituted a valet service on a pilot. And last year, 75 to 100 cars were being parked every weekend evening. Prospect Avenue, the al fresco, that's the picture there, it has brought life to that section of town. You know, before, we have great businesses on Prospect Avenue, but the life that has come forward because of what's going on there, that you can see, the excitement, it's incredible. And some may say, well, you know, parking, what about parking? Well, we have coordinated with St. Mark's. We've signed a parking lease with them to add, and we've added 40 new additional parking opportunities in the downtown, in their parking lot after hours. They worked with us, you know, where their youth center is there. There's a huge parking field, and that is going to be ours to use in the evenings. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit because over the last 3 or 4 years, and maybe even before that, you know, sustainability has become the watchword of the environmental future of our country, and your village is on it. I formed a citizens committee in the last year and a half that focused on sustainability. The sustainability, or a sustainability plan, has been completed, and then we are conducting community outreach. So awareness is being created and information is being shared, and that's what you see happening right there at one of our downtown events. And we are now publishing the sustainability news online, right, Alex? Yep. Envisioning the future, tomorrow, today, right? So you probably have heard a lot of discussion or talk about the Mellis to Meadows Park. Now, it's not done, but it's a step-by-step process to get to a decision. The board has not voted on this yet. We have expended dollars for engineering and other things so that we could understand if this bridge made sense. But we have put in for numerous grants, have gotten a lot of support monetarily. We have a ways to go. But what that bridge does is it brings safety to our citizens, but it also brings connectivity of the north side of Mount Prospect to the west, to the south side of Mount Prospect. And you know, the area on Mellis Park and that neighborhood, that's an island. That area is surrounded by very busy streets, right? Well, this bridge now creates an opportunity for those people to get north and the people north to get south. And so if there are kids out there that have friends, they don't have to get in a car anymore. They can get on their bike and ride to see their friends. Well, I shouldn't say anymore because it hasn't been built yet, but I think that will be a great addition, provided we can get we can fill the funding gap. The downtown Gateway Park, that is where the old Winkleman's Joe's repair shop used to be, at 310 Northwest Highway. Now, it hasn't been built yet. It's in the design stage. We have acquired the property, and as you probably have seen, it's cordoned off right now. But that will be a gateway park. It will be a great visual as you come into our downtown. The Rand, Route 83 Kensington intersection, I have spent the majority of my life sitting at the stoplight there. And what's funny is this morning, I have a little rule. If I'm halfway from downtown to that intersection and the light is green, I step on it. No, I'm just kidding. But this morning, it was green. I got up there, and it turned red on me. And I had to sit there. Now, I wasn't late. Okay? Because I planned. But I did sit there for probably 6 to 8 minutes. So having that improvement in place, as I talked about the other major intersection improvement, that is going to make a huge difference for all of us. But also, there are hundreds, there may be 100,000 people that go through that intersection every day, and that will make their lives a lot easier and keep traffic moving. And then finally, our Community Connection Center down at South Mount Prospect. The center's been there. We just celebrated 15-year anniversary last fall. It's a fantastic facility. It provides a lot of outreach to the community there. And we are surveying the community right now, right, Julie? Julie, where are you? We're surveying the community, and Esther, to find out what do you need from the Community Connection Center? What do you need from the village? And when we find that out, we are going to make improvements to the Connection Center, and likely we're going to increase the size because the use of it has just been off the charts, right? We have a lot of people that access the community center. And one thing we were asked recently by one of the press, what is something that people aren't talking about? And I think we have a Community Connection Center on the south. I think we may need a Community Connection Center on the north because we have communities there that are also in need of similar services. And it's hard for them, for people that are accessing services here, to get to the downtown. So we bring the village to them. And then breaking news, if many of you are aware of this, but one of the most important remaining pieces of the downtown development puzzle has been, or is being secured. Has it been secured? Have they? Okay, but we signed off and informed them that we want to move forward with the purchase as of last Tuesday. This is a huge win for the village. We will control the redevelopment of this parcel. We are borrowing $5 million from the general fund, lending it to the TIF district fund, and then we'll purchase the building. And then the TIF district will pay that loan back over time. Also, once the developer is chosen, we'll go out to RFP and we'll get development proposals. And once we find a proposal that we like, the building and the site will be sold to the developer. We'll get the proceeds. That will also pay down the loan. But keep in mind, it's not an outside loan. We're loaning that money to ourselves. So I think everybody in this room knows that this is something that this community has wanted forever. And it just wasn't working out, not because of us, but because of things going on with the ownership of this building. And I won't get into it, but they were in court for years and so on and so forth. And we couldn't wade into that. But that's all been taken care of. And so this building will be come under our control, and we will control what goes on that site. And I guarantee you the citizens, the community, will have input as to what this might look like in the future. Now, given that everything that you've heard this morning, obviously Mount Prospect's on a roll, right? We're on a roll. It's an incredibly exciting time in our history, and as such, I had an idea. Oh yeah, I had one idea. In 2025, one idea, not too bad. No, I had an idea. And actually, this isn't an original idea because somebody said this to me. I think we should change the name of Mount Prospect to Mount Prosperous. What do you think? I actually had somebody say that. We should change our name to Mount Prosperous. I said, I'm going to use that. If you're looking to relocate or open a business, take a hard look at Mount Prospect. If you're looking to move to Mount Prospect, schedule time with a realtor and buy a house. If you can find one, right? There's not a lot of houses for sale in Mount Prospect because people want to live here. So property values have been up. We're on a roll, and you watch us grow over the next year or two. It's going to be tremendous. And so Mount Prospect is the land of opportunity. Don't forget that. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor. It's obviously a series of amazing updates and progress throughout the town, and thank you to everybody who's a part of the village team as well for everything you guys have contributed to this growth over the past 5 or so years. It's fantastic progress. So to conclude our program for today, I wanted to transition now to the Economic Development Commission Awards. We're excited as a commission to be resurrecting these awards. They had paused, I think as I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the pandemic, and we're very fortunate to be bringing these back to the community again. So today we're going to be introducing 5 different awards that feature 6 different winners across our village, and let's just dive on in here. The first award that we'll be presenting today is the Enduring Business Award, with the recipient being Al's Shoe Service. This award honors businesses that have been in operation for 5 or more years and have demonstrated long-term success and commitment to the Mount Prospect community. It recognizes their resilience, sustained contributions, and role as pillars within our local economy. In terms of Al's Shoe Service, as their Facebook page says, when you walk into Al's Shoe Service, you're not walking into a shoe repair shop, you're walking into a vintage collection of heart and soul. Al's Shoe Service has provided shoe and leather good repair in downtown Mount Prospect since 2004. The owner, Larry D'Angelo, carries the legacy of his father, Al D'Angelo, who first opened a cobbler shop in Chicago in 1937. Using the same machinery his father used to fix shoes more than 80 years ago. Imagine that. We recognize Larry for his excellent craftsmanship, enthusiasm, beautiful impromptu flute performances, maybe even today. And we recognize Al's Shoe Service for making sure Mount Prospect residents put their best foot forward. So Al, we'd like to invite you and your family up and congratulate you for your award today.
Over the last 4 years, I've cut hundreds of ribbons. I've only hugged one person in all that time, and that's the man right there. I've also we have thousands of businesses in town. I've only sung a song in one of those. Just in time, I can do
that. Thank you, Greg. Yes.
Short song.
Short song. Well, everyone, I have to thank everyone in this room for the opportunity that you gave me back in 2004. I moved my business from Franklin Park. We were there for 58 years. I'm an only child. My father taught me this trade 51 years ago. And so, thanks to all of you here, you made me feel so welcome to be in your community.
Oh, hey, there we go. This is the best thing that ever happened in my life. I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, my 2 daughters, Cindy, Angela, Alexandria, and the entire village. Every one of you, I know, has helped me to continue, and it's in honor of my father, my mother, and everyone else that brought me here, and God especially. I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity. Every one of you deserves this award. I'm just here because, by the grace of God, I'm here. So I'll play you a song that could make us all feel good, called "Come Fly With Me." All right, shall we? Come fly with me, let's fly away. Yeah, you can use some exotic booze, some bar in far Bombay. Come on, fly with me, let's fly. let's fly away, and I won't take up any more of your time. Say hi to Tommy Dorsey and Frank Sinatra.
Well, thank you, everyone. God bless you. And take it easy.
That would be embarrassing.
So, Al, you can stay on stage for the second award today, which will be a Grammy.
Oh, okay. Don't forget the award. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
And, when we conclude, we're going to take pictures over there as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Stand right here? Okay.
Sure. Okay. Okay, well, there's a lot to follow from that speech and presentation, so good luck to the rest of the award winners today. Our second award today will be the Budding Business Award, which is being awarded to Angelo Caputo's Fresh Markets. This award is given to businesses open for less than 5 years, an award that celebrates the innovation and potential of new ventures in Mount Prospect. It acknowledges businesses that are already making a significant impact through creativity, growth, and community engagement. Angelo Caputo and his wife, Romana, opened their first store in Elmwood Park in 1958. Similar in size to its flagship location, the family owned and operated grocer returned to its roots when opening its Mount Prospect location in 2023. Caputo's offers fresh produce, homemade bakery, specialty deli goods, pre-made homemade meals, and much, much more. The Mount Prospect store features Bar Angelo, a European-style bar offering liquor, coffee, and a beer garden. A long-desired use in our downtown, we recognize Angelo Caputo's Fresh Markets for bringing an urban-style, small-format grocery store to downtown Mount Prospect. Congratulations, and thank you.
Unfortunately, Angelo Caputo's did have a last-minute cancellation this morning due to a family emergency, and they are not able to be with us. But thank you very much to the Presta family for their investment. We could not be happier to have them in our community.
Thank you.
Accepting on their behalf.
Okay, moving on to our third award for today. It's the Entrepreneurship Award, which is being awarded to the Couts family. This award is presented to a business that exemplifies the entrepreneurial spirit, marked by boldness, creativity, and innovative solutions. It recognizes those who have taken risks, overcome challenges, and demonstrated outstanding leadership in bringing new ideas to life. The Couts family opened their showroom, Michael Couts Carpets, in 1969, initially offering flooring contractor services for commercial and residential applications to families, and has since expanded their business to offer interior design services for kitchen and bathroom remodels. As if operating a small business was not enough of a challenge, the family also owned and operated Fellini Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria for the last decade, where they serve classic Italian dishes and homemade pizzas. We recognize Couts family for their more than 50 years of local business ownership in the village of Mount Prospect. Thank you.
If his dad was here, I'd give him a hug.
Can I look here? Take a couple. There we go.
I don't have a choice over there.
There you go. Where's your flute?
My dad wishes he was here, but he's on a golf course right now in Naples, enjoying the weather. So, but I do want to thank everyone in the community for the support of not just Fellini's, Mike Couts Carpets, and Katie's Kitchen, who is actually East Mount Prospect. I don't want to tell them they're in another town, but without everyone here and without the support of the community, we would be nothing. And we rely on everyone in this room and all the citizens to support our family. So yeah.
knew we could find space for Kitty's kitchen, right? Jason? That's going to happen.
Okay, our fourth award today is the Rehabilitation Improvement Award, which is going to Lady Dahlia Mexican Kitchen. This award honors businesses that have enhanced their facilities or surroundings through rehabilitation and renovation efforts, with special recognition for sustainable practices. It highlights businesses that are not only improving their own premises, but also contributing to the beautification and environmental stewardship of our community. A new addition to downtown Mount Prospect, Lady Dahlia Mexican Kitchen expands the dining scene by offering Mexican-inspired fare, craft cocktails, and unique tequila and mezcal pairings. The ownership group, George Tesalos, Dimitri Lucaretsos, and Chris Demise, are no strangers to creating delectable dining experiences in Mount Prospect, as a group also owns and operates both Emerson's Ale House and Honey Biscuit. Congratulations on your award.
Tilt it a little bit down. There you go. Look here. One more. There we go.
Thank you, everybody. Didn't have a speech prepared, but I appreciate everybody for the support with Lady Dahlia in the last 10 years or so with Emerson. So thank you.
And our final award for this morning is the Project of the Year Award, which we're fortunate to have two honorees today. This award celebrates a significant project that has had a transformative impact on Mount Prospect. It recognizes projects that showcase excellence in planning, execution, and contribution to the community's growth and development. Our first award winner today is Nicholas and Associates for their work with the Dawson, which is the second apartment building associated with the Maple Street Lofts. The Dawson is the final part of the Maple Street Lofts mixed-use development to come online. Opening its doors in the summer of last year, the 7-story, 64-unit apartment building offers 1- and 2-bedroom units for rent, along with a wide range of amenities, including a resident lounge, fitness center, community kitchen, an outdoor grilling area, and fire pits, along with a dry sauna. The first floor features 1,500 square feet of retail space, also available for lease today. The Dawson received its name in honor of the Papa Nicholas family matriarch, Nancy Dawson Papa Nicholas. We recognize Nicholas and Associates, Wingspan Development, and the Papa Nicholas family for the completion of this cornerstone project. Congratulations.
I thought my prop was going to be better than the flute, but I lost.
Congratulations.
Goes in for the shot. Look at this camera. Take a couple shots. And one more.
Did you get it, Steve?
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going to unveil something that's a little bit of a treasure. Want to throw that up there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Mount Prospect. Thank you all. This is a little artifact in our family, and I think it's really fitting to break something like this out for this day for Maple Street Lofts and the Dawson. So this picture was taken in 1991 when we were building our Nicholas and Associates new office at 240 East Lincoln. Yes, that's myself. That probably explains a lot when I'm breaking construction debris over my head. But I thought that it was really ironic, 34 years later, we are up here getting acknowledged and honored for a project that I really think was meant to be in 1991. So Mike Cassidy and I walked around Lincoln Street, Prospect Avenue, Maple, the whole Lions Park area, probably 8-9 years ago, and really envisioned this. So this is just the last phase of the Maple Street Lofts project, but I really think it's just the beginning of what we're doing in downtown Mount Prospect. So thank you all for the support. We are so proud to call Mount Prospect home, and there's no other place better to invest in than your own hometown. So thank you. Gina, you want to say anything?
No.
Thank you.
You know, Nick, your dad would be proud.
Great. And then our second award winner for the Project of the Year award goes to T2 Capital Management for their work with the HQ residences. Constructed on the site of the former Mount Prospect Police and Fire Headquarters in downtown Mount Prospect, HQ Residences opened its doors over the summer. The 6-story building is comprised of 87 rental units and 3,200 square feet of retail space. An array of dwelling units are provided, including 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments and 6 2-story townhomes with 2-car attached garages for each. Residents have access to a spacious lounge, fitness center, and an on-site pickleball court. The garage parking around the amenities. Recently announced, the ownership of Cocoa and Blue will open a sister location dubbed Cocoa and Maple at the property, occupying the entirety of the available retail space. We recognize Tom Lowe of T2 Capital Management and the partners Harlem Irving and Hamilton Partners for this transformative reuse project. Congratulations.
Tom, remind me where you live.
Across the street from Paul.
Mount Prospect.
One more.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you to the Economic Development Commission for the recognition and the award. We recently gotten some press for some of the work that we've done downtown Mount Prospect from cranes, and then shortly after that was published, Jason sent the email about this recognition and this award. So I mentioned to my colleagues this was becoming eerily familiar of a memorial versus a recognition. We had a good laugh at it. This is not a memorial. I'm here. This is all good. And I may be the face of some of the projects downtown Mount Prospect, but as you can imagine, it takes a lot of people to make these projects happen. Several of them are here this morning with me. My T2 colleagues, John Felker and Andrea Gower, are here. Harlem Irving's represented by Rick Filler, who's here this morning. Not here, but certainly deserves recognition, is Todd Burlinghoff from Hamilton Partners. And although the award is celebrating HQ, I would be remiss not to point out individuals that were instrumental in Prospect Place, which is another successful development that we completed and are now leasing and filling the ground floor retail with some good uses. So Ron Plonis from Noah Properties is here today. And who is not here is Bart Pachemsky from Noah Properties and Mike Musa from EPI. Harlem Irving, T2, and Hamilton Partners were the development group behind HQ. Bart and Mike Musa from EPI were my partners on Prospect Place. Noah's a luxury
builder in the Chicago metro area, and the luxury and the finishes and the high-end caliber of development shows at Prospect Place. So I would be remiss not to mention Prospect Place and the NOAA and EPI team as well. All this construction that Nicholas has been doing, as Wingspan has been doing, as well as our development group, would not be possible had it not been for the foresight and the direction of the mayor and the trustees. They had a plan, they implemented the plan, and continue to implement a plan that works. And the new developments that are coming online, the new restaurants, the new shops, and even the grocery store are all a result of responsible, good leadership in the village, and they all deserve a thanks from all the residents in the community. And all the village departments as well. They've all touched these projects. Far too many people to name, but all the departments were very instrumental in making this happen, so they deserve recognition as well. There is one name that does need to be recognized, and that is the village manager, Mike Cassidy. Mike's been instrumental on everything that's happened downtown. So putting my resident hat on for a moment, Mike, thanks for all you do for the village. Very instrumental. HQ and Prospect Place are two great projects, and we are proud at how they turned out. Both projects are important, highly visible, and they'll be enjoyed by their residents, their neighbors, and the community at large for generations to come. So appreciate the award, appreciate the recognition. We're proud of how they've turned out. And again, thanks to the mayor and trustees for the support and assistance. Thank you. Have a good day.
You know, it's already been said, but we do have an incredible senior leadership team in this town. Bill Schroeder, Jason, and it's already been said, Mike Cassidy. This man knows how to get it done, and working with our board has gotten it done. Now, he, like me, he shuns the limelight, but another bad joke. But he's always here, and he is working hard to make these things happen. So thank you, Mike.
So that concludes our program for this morning. I'd just like to ask for one final round of applause for all of our awardees today. And on behalf of the Economic Development Commission and the Village of Mount Prospect, thank you for attending. We look forward to having another phenomenal year in our town, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you.